It's finally spring break, and as promised, I'll be updating you guys on my recent pickups. This video is going to be more laid back. It's going to be an introduction to my perfectly curated book choice for spring 2025. In my hand right now, I have three books, as you can see, and I will be introducing them and tell you guys a little bit of why I chose this book. But before we go any further, my name is Ivan. Welcome to Books by Ivan. I read books and I talk about them. And today is my book choice for spring 2025. With that being said, make yourself comfortable, have a cup of coffee, and let's discuss why I chose these books. If you've been a member of this page for a really long time, a couple of months back, I've mentioned that I read classics and that I only focus on classics. But today, I have two books in my hands that aren't classic, and I will tell you why I chose these books, right? In my hand right now, there's a book I started reading. It is titled A Little Life. You're probably thinking, oh my god, it's not a classic. Ivan, have you betrayed us? What's going on? Well, let me tell you. For the longest time, right, I've looked for a book that was so sad, a book so gut-wrenching that when I would be done reading it, I would be left staring at my ceiling and contemplating life in general. And I believe that with this book, I have made the right choice. From the reviews that I have read on social media, this book is devastating. And oddly enough, I'm actually looking forward to reading it. I have already started reading it, as you can tell by the little flaps here. And of course, this. So far, there's this huge mystery behind this character named Jude. I don't know why. I think as the story progresses, we will learn more and more about the character. But he's like this whole mysterious character. He also have issues with his legs. And I'm in the part where they moved into the new apartment that looks like an asylum. No, seriously, that's what's written in the book. He looks like an asylum. And he forced himself to lift boxes to guide people up and down the stairs, and in result his legs were in pain. And as I'm reading this, I'm just wondering, right, okay, we already have a backstory for JB, one of the characters in the book, and there's also a little bit of backstory on William, he's another character in the book, right? But in the backstories of those two characters, Jude is always mentioned, but it's always so clouded, so dark. We don't know much about him. And hopefully as the stories goes on, we get to learn more about him and why he is the way he is. Because he doesn't talk about his family. He doesn't talk about what he likes to do. He's literally with them. They've been friends for almost a decade, and yet they don't really know that much about him. And that is also, and is one of the things that I found to be fascinating. But enough about this beautiful book. Look at the cover. Absolutely beautiful. Ooh la la. Next up in my hand is Don't Judge Me. Do Not Judge Me. It is a classic. This book is a classic. It's the picture of Dorian Gray. I'm pretty sure there's a movie about this, no? Actually, I might as well I'll look it up later and see if there's confirmation of that. But from what I gathered from my little 5-10 minute research on the book, this gentleman named Dorian Gray is this pure, innocent gentleman from a high class family, I guess I should put it. And he becomes obsessed with his beauty, right? His youth, and he believes that as he gets older, he will not matter anymore. Also, if you hear that thing in the background, I am so sorry. It's the wind, it's howling, it's going absolutely crazy right now. But as I was saying, he becomes obsessed with his beauty, right? And he believes that as he gets older, he will not matter as much, that it will be irrelevant. He would be irrelevant. Once again, I haven't read the book. Literally around a couple of days ago, I haven't even opened it. But I just want to know where the story goes, right? I want to know the kind of type of person that he becomes. I want to know if he is still so. No. I was gonna say narcissist, but narcissist isn't the right word. If he's so obsessed with himself, with his looks, and how it affects the characters around him, that is one of the reasons why I chose this book. And look at the cover. Isn't the cover beautiful? I'm sorry, but I am heavily influenced by the cover of a book, as you can clearly tell from my other book choices that I have shown to you guys in the past. But looking at this cover, I'm liking it. The cover sold it to me, okay? After learning a little bit of that, the cover sold it for me. Next up, this book isn't a classic. It's not. But as a person that's always yearning for knowledge, yearning to navigate through life, you guys may not know this, but I am 19 years old, a college student about to transfer to university. I'm pretty much Raskolnikov right now. If you know, you know. I'm practically Raskolnikov, and that was a nice reference. And I'm navigating through my college life right now, and I want to, before I reach my 20s, have a little bit of idea on how to take in life and to progress with it. Of course, everyone has different experience in life. I'm well aware of it. I'm way too aware of it. But a little bit of guidance doesn't hurt, right? Guidance will, at least in my opinion, help me become the Superman. Another reference. Become the better person. A person that in the past, if I hadn't read all these books, I probably would not have the chance to become. So by reading books like this, I hope to better myself in a way or another, which is also one of the reasons why I chose to read books many months ago. But in my hand right now, I have Tuesday with Maury. I know you've heard of this book. It's an old man, a young man, and life's greatest lesson. Hopefully, this book guides me a little bit throughout my life, since I am about to leave my home because I'm going to university. So I'm leaving soon in a couple of months. The whole background will change. You will see, you will be there, hopefully. And hopefully with this book will help me become a better person, to function better with my peers of my age and not isolate myself, to not think things too hard. Because at the end of the day, I am just visiting this planet called Earth. It's a floating rock in an infinite void of darkness. So hopefully everything, as I was saying before, my sister came in the back. I want to go through life with, hopefully, this book teaching me one or two things, right? I want to get a second life. I want to be part of the whole, to be there with people, to laugh and feel the same pain that they feel, because that is something that I personally struggle with. I know this isn't a therapy session, but I personally find it difficult to emphasize or feel sympathy for other people that aren't my family. And I've always been striving for books that, one way or another, would get me closer to other people to help me understand what they could possibly go through to make them feel the way that they are feeling right now. And hopefully, with this book, I get to understand what it's like. I get to be there with them. That being said, remember, it's always better to read than not to read. Have a good day and be good people. Bye.